been Prime Minister for quite a few years.
Yeah.
The UK's had about 7 Prime Ministers in the same time, and God knows how many other ministers.
Mm-hmm.
I find there are always challenges, we have political stability here. We have relative fiscal responsibility here, better than it ever has been in the last 20 years. Things for Jamaica are getting better, but in the UK, they are really bad.
Wow.
We better understand what cracker strike in Jamaica. Anyhow, we play the fool. We're going to turn back the times to a place where we can't pull it from. Holness.
Hello, JPU family. Welcome to another episode of Jamaica Politics Uncovered. We're here today with a political update. We have Mark Shields with some words about Jamaica. We have Vibes Cartel, who said that he supports Donald Trump. We also have Andrew Holness, who exposed Peter Bunting. Let's talk about it. So with all the political doom and gloom that the opposition is doing at this time, going into the diaspora and telling them negative things about Jamaica, about the Prime Minister, clearly somebody who doesn't seem to be on one side or the other in Mark Shields, he was honest on the fix. He said that, there were some things that the Jamaican culture must change, such as the impatience, the indiscipline of our people, which is true. As a Jamaican, I totally agree with that. But he also said some very important things about Jamaica. He spoke about our political stability. And this, guys, is the reason why it's so important that the politics of the PNP that destroy the party does not become our national politics. It's trying to, but I see that there are people out here pushing back against it because political instability is bad for country. He also spoke about how Jamaica is getting better. Yes, people, Jamaica is improving, he said. He talks about the fiscal discipline. If nobody else not have discipline in the country, the people who manage with money and taxpayer money with discipline, okay? And that didn't just start today, in fairness. It started years ago. It started about 2 administrations ago under the PNP with Portia, Dr. Phillips, and so forth, and continued by this administration. I was a bit shocked when he compared Jamaica to the UK and talked about how Jamaica is getting better in comparison to UK, where things are worse. My gosh, what a shocking statement coming from an Englishman. But anyway, guys, we don't really need no validity from nobody in a Jamaica. We know who we are. We know where we are. We know what we've done and how far we've come. So we did already know that, just hearing it from somebody with a different background, different perspective is kind of good. Not that we need any affirmation from anybody else. We just say, you understand? So big up Mark Shields for that very honest assessment and for sharing that with the public. Which now leads us to Dr. Nigel Clark, who was officially introduced to the IMF and his colleagues by the chief director of the IMF. Guys, I don't know about you, but as a Jamaican, I am so proud to see Jamaica shining so bright right before the world. Dr. Clark, we are so proud of you, and you represent Jamaica so well out there on the world stage. We thank you for the work you've done for Jamaica. Guys, when we talk about fiscal discipline in Jamaica, oftentimes it's the new government come in and them try to undo everything that the previous administration did. But you know what? This is an example to the world of what consensus really is.
Right man for the job, I believe so. I mean, I don't do identity politics. So not because you're black, I'm going to vote for you. What is your policy? What are your policies? So for me, I think he's the right man for the job. He deserved it. Big up Mr. Trump.
So yeah, guys, if you didn't know before, now you do. Vibes Cartel says that he supports Donald Trump and he's the right man for the job. Yes, Donald Trump, who caused an insurrection when he lost the 2020 general election and refused to accept the outcome. A few people died in the process of this insurrection. Donald Trump, 34 convictions, never in the history of the U.S. Trump, whose vice president said he will not support him, who all the generals and military senior people said he's unfit to lead our country. Trump, who called Georgia intimidating election officials to give him 11,000 more votes.
I know in the past you've said Mr. Trump's reckless words endangered you and your family on that day. What do you think when you hear him refer to those people facing charges as hostages and patriots?
Well, I think it's very unfortunate. The assaults on police officers, ultimately an environment that claimed lives, is something that I think was tragic that day, and I'll never diminish it. You know, after a lot of prayer and reflection, I've come to the conclusion that I won't be endorsing Donald Trump this year.
Donald Trump, who was found liable for sexual assault, the right man for the job, Vibes Cartel said.
Now you better, as Minister of National Security, stop this nonsense of telling people about, well, it is all our responsibility and nationally we must join together. When I was leader of opposition of government business, I came to you, Mr. Bunting, and I, Mr. Speaker, member from Central Manchester, and I sat with you when this nation had the greatest opportunity to bring crime under control. I came to you and I sat with you and I said to you, join us. We have criminals on the retreat. We were uprooting the criminal gangs, and I asked you, please join with us then to extend the state of emergency into St. Catherine, where we would have been able to deal with one of the most dangerous criminal gangs in Jamaica. And you, member from Central Manchester, refused. Had we done that, we would have uprooted the most dangerous criminal gang in Jamaica. And today, Jamaicans would have benefited from a safer country. But you played politics then, and you are trying to play politics now. I will not allow you to do it. Jamaica will not allow you to do it. Don't ever come in here and try to bring politics in this. Don't disrespect me. You're out of order.
Yes, guys, so that was Andrew Holness when the PNP was in government. Guys, the truth of the matter is, you see people like Peter Bunting, Mark Golding, they've never taken the job of being ministers of Jamaica very seriously. You know, in my view, and maybe many people will agree with this, they were the two worst performing ministers in the Portia Simpson Miller administration. I mean, look what they did to the PNP. You know, all they are in our politics, in my view, they're troublemakers, they're obstructionists, they're saboteurs. And I don't use those words lightly. I believe in having a strong opposition. But these guys, I judge them by what they did to their party and members of their party. And when they are trying to, you know, do the same thing to the prime minister of the country, it's like, you guys again, you know what I mean? So they never really did Portia proud. They never did her proud. They only got into her cabinet because they were privileged to do so because of Omar Davis and the financial dealings that he had with them. But besides that, they didn't come into the politics because they love people or because they are good at, you know, representation, or they're passionate about the development of the country. You know, so the way our Andrew while up Bunting, like seriously, on the matter of crime, we all remember Bunting crying before the nation when the pressure reached him, saying that, listen, there's nothing more I can do. And instead of resigning, he didn't. He sat there and continued to collect taxpayers' money. How many of you could do that at your job? Tell your boss, look, I cannot do this job. And you stay there. No, they would replace you without a second thought and even thank you for your honesty. Okay? So that is it today, guys, for a political update. Make sure you're keeping it locked here to Jamaica Politics Uncovered. If you have not subscribed, please do so. Invite your friends to join our live broadcast. And guys, make sure that you turn on your notification. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you in the next video.